Today I want to share with you 10 practical ways that you can slow down and simplify your life in 2024. In the busy world that we live in, it can sometimes feel like slowing down is a luxury that we just don't have time for. But I'd argue that it is pivotal to building and maintaining a joy-filled and fulfilling life in every aspect, whether it's with your health, possessions, finances. And it's only when we shift our lifestyles and our habits from being haphazard to more value aligned that we can create real, sustained change. So today I want to share with you 10 practical things that you can begin doing starting right now to simplify your life and your possessions so you can enjoy life more. So getting right into this, the first shift that you can make in your life to head in the direction of simplicity is to make letting go habitual. Something that I often see and can sometimes be guilty of myself is the tendency to see decluttering as a massive event. We'll spot clutter in our bathrooms, our kitchens, our closets, but then we'll think that we need to set aside at least an afternoon, if not an entire day or weekend to go through it. The thing is, while there can be a lot of benefit in going on larger decluttering sprees, what often ends up happening is it keeps us from decluttering altogether. But by making letting go just a part of your daily rhythms and routines can make it a lot more approachable. So the next time that you see clothing in your closet that you haven't worn in months or even years, or dishes that just are no longer serving you, rather than thinking to yourself, oh, I need to go ahead and schedule a declutter at some point in the future, just take a moment right now and spend 30 seconds to a minute getting rid of what's no longer serving you. It's already on your mind, so just take action to do it now. One tip that can be incredibly helpful as you begin to practice this on-the-go type of decluttering is to set up a donation box somewhere in your home. And that way, as you're living your life and come across things that you want to let go of, you can just put those items in the donation box. Then when that box fills up, you can sort through it, take appropriate action on those items, and take whatever necessary to your local donation center. And then another strategy that can be incredibly powerful in our desire to live a simple and slower life, to not plan out every second. As humans, we need margin. I know I say that a lot, but it is so true. If you're always going from a meeting to an event to work to another activity, it's just a recipe for burnout. We just aren't designed to always be on the go. And yet, far too often, we'll pack out our schedules, leaving little to no breathing room. So if you tend to plan out every second of your life, I want to encourage you to begin planning margin into your schedule and time to rest. I've always loved this saying, we are human beings, not human doings. So it's important that we give ourselves time just to be. The funny thing is, what a lot of people find when they actually begin to implement this is that they have more motivation, they're more productive at work, they have more energy, they can get more done because they're approaching life from a place of rest rather than busyness, stress, and burnout. If that doesn't sound like a good reason to at least try this one out, I don't know what does. All right, but then another big one is just to do the work. One of the most beautiful things about slowing down and simplifying our lives is that it naturally tends to lead towards our becoming more self-aware, towards our recognizing our strengths, our weaknesses, the areas about our lives or things about ourselves that we'd like to change or to improve. If that sounds like you, I want to encourage you to put in the work, whatever that looks like, to be well. Mentally, emotionally, and physically. Of course, I realize that is something so much easier said than done. So whether you're looking for help with stress management, reaching your goals, or some other challenge you may be going through, therapy can make a huge difference, which is why I am so thankful that BetterHelp is once again sponsoring this portion of today's video. BetterHelp makes starting therapy easy and so much less intimidating, especially if you may be newer to it. The way it works works is you just fill out a questionnaire, and I'll have that linked up for you in the description box below, and answer a few questions about what challenges you're going through, what kind of therapist you'd like to work with. And then from there, you'll be matched with a therapist in most cases within 48 hours. What's so great is that BetterHelp has over 30,000 therapists in their network, so you can get access to a broader range of expertise than may be available in your city. BetterHelp is all about making therapy approachable too, so you can have your therapy sessions as a phone call, video chat, or even via messaging, whatever you're most comfortable with. Plus, you can schedule your therapy sessions at a time that's convenient for you. What I really like too is if you feel like your therapist isn't a great fit, you can switch therapists with just a click of a button in your settings at no additional cost. So if you're ready to put in the work and are looking for support along the way, join the over 4 million people who've used BetterHelp to start living a happier, healthier life. To get started, just click on the link in the description box below or go to betterhelp.com/Ashlynne. When you use that link, not only does it help to support my channel, but it will also get you 10% off your first month at BetterHelp, so you can connect with a therapist and see if it helps you. All right, but now let's continue talking about another practical way that you can simplify your life, and that's to replace, don't accumulate. Whenever you buy something new or add something to your life, you want to, at the same time, let something go. So if you add an activity to your schedule, remove something else to make space for it. Or if you buy a new shirt or pair of socks, at the same time, let go of a shirt or pair of socks so that you're maintaining the status quo. This principle is sometimes called the 1 in, 1 out rule, and it is such a useful tool to help us preserve margin and space in our homes and lives. That is just so essential in our desire to simplify and to create a stress-free environment. Then one kind of more specific thing that you can do is to reclaim your digital space. Every day we spend a lot of time connected to the digital world, whether we're checking our emails, scrolling social media, working, taking pictures, and every day we're creating new information that needs to be stored somewhere. And so it's little wonder that our digital lives often become messy and cluttered. We can have difficulty finding what we need, start pushing the upper limits of our storage, or get easily distracted on our devices. But just like with our homes, it's important that we declutter and organize our devices so that we can use them more efficiently and create an intentional space. So if right now your devices are anything but minimal, spend some time going through and decluttering your phone, your laptop, and your tablet. If that feels a bit overwhelming for you, I've actually put together an entire video on this topic, and in it I talk through 25 practical steps that you can take to declutter your devices. I believe there's a free PDF checklist as well that goes along with it, so I'll link to that in the description box below for you. Hopefully that can be a helpful resource. Then moving on, something else you can do is to outsource where possible. Part of building a fulfilling life you love is about doing more of what fills you and less of what drains you. Of course, what fills up your cup versus drains you is going to be different from person to person. I want you to think through what you can do to shift your responsibilities to reflect that. So if, say, doing your taxes is one of those activities that just zaps your energy, know that it does for me. Maybe it's time to hire an accountant. Or maybe you really don't enjoy cleaning your home. You can hire someone to do that. What outsourcing like this accomplishes is that it frees up our time to focus on more fulfilling and life-giving activities. But I also want to say with this, outsourcing doesn't always need to look like paying someone. I've done a number of barters or trades for things like this in the past, and that can be a great option as well. Then let's talk about another simple one, and that's to give everything a home and to keep it there. Not designating a home of sorts for our possessions is one of the fastest ways that our homes become messy and spiral out of control. Paper clutter piles up, our storage areas become chaotic, we'll have shoes in 5 different spots in our house. Often the problem of our homes feeling like a mess has less to do with the amount of things we own, though it can never hurt to streamline that, and more to do with the fact that we don't know where things go. And everything is just everywhere, which can be stressful. So just by simply giving the things that you own a home and getting in the habit of keeping them there can go such a long ways towards simplifying your space, creating a tidier home environment. One idea I'll share for this one, if you have a number of miscellaneous items that you're just struggling to decide where they should belong, try designating either a utility drawer or closet for those just for when types of items that might not belong as a part of a larger grouping somewhere else in your home. It's kind of like the organized alternative to a junk drawer or junk closet. It can be incredibly practical. And one piece of advice that I think can be so beneficial for us to bear in mind at all times is to consume mindfully. And yes, here I'm talking about your possessions, but I think it's more than that too. So much of simplifying just comes down to being intentional with what you own, with your time, your money, your attention. So as you go about life, ask yourself the question, is this decision, this purchase, this action aligned with my values and who I want to become? And if it is, great, give that thing your time, your money, and your attention. But if not, strongly consider reevaluating it. Often, just by taking time to think through our purchases and our decisions, it gives us the margin that we need, the space to make better choices. Then another big one is to reduce your screen time. And nothing eats into our schedules or distracts us like excessive screen time. Of course, I get that screen time may be unavoidable to a certain extent. After all, many of us spend the majority of our working lives in front of a computer. But often, we only add to the problem by scrolling social media or watching TV for several hours a day before and after we get off work. And so this year, I want to challenge you to make a concerted effort to spend less time staring at your phone, TV, or computer. A couple ways that you can begin to do this are first, to begin monitoring your screen time, perhaps enlisting a friend to help keep you accountable to lowering how much time you're spending looking at your phone each week. You can also try going cold turkey and deleting Instagram, TikTok, or maybe committing not to watch TV for a month or more. You can think through and even experiment with what's going to work best for you. But something that I like to think about is, when I'm 80 years old, looking back on life, what am I going to be happy I did? What will I be proud of? And what will I regret? I truly believe that reducing screen time is never going to be something I regret, and instead is likely going to be something I'm incredibly happy that I did. All right, then let's end this off with one final piece of advice, and that's to enjoy the journey. If there's anything that I've learned over the years, it's that simplifying doesn't happen overnight. It can be easy to get down on where we're at, or to not feel like the actions we're taking are really making a difference. And especially when we see someone's curated highlight reel on social media and compare it to our own very real life in all its rawness and messiness. But the thing is, comparison isn't just unproductive, it often doesn't even reflect reality. I love the quote, "Don't compare your beginning to someone else's middle, or your middle to someone else's end." How often do we do that? But really, it's only when we can stop comparing our lives to others and start being content and grateful for where we're at that we can experience joy. So take time not to compare yourself to others, but to celebrate your wins, to recognize how far you've come, and to enjoy the journey. Well, friends, those are 10 practical ways that you can slow down and simplify your life in 2024. I hope that these ideas empower you to create real, sustained change. Now, I would love to know, what is one thing that you want to do this year to simplify your life? Be sure to let me know down in the comments. And as always, don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, friends, I am wishing you all an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.